Welcome back. Good to see you. Today I wanted to talk about life at 35 years old. So I turned 35 recently, and I wanted to speak on it as I feel as though life at this point for me is very different than what the status quo is for most mid-30s guys. I talk to other guys my age, and it's kind of depressing, First off, physically, a lot of these guys act like they're geriatric senior citizens. Like, the idea of going for a jog is absurd to them. Now I know there's a lot of guys with bad knees from being ex-military or athletes, so they get a pass, but these other guys act like it's the most asinine thing they've ever thought of, just to go out and go for a light jog and get a mild sweat going. The other thing I've noticed is that they treat the concept of going out and enjoying their city's nightlife as just a fate worse than death. I've chalked this up to simply that, in their minds, going out means going to a nightclub where you'll be packed ass to ass with annoying drunks, badly mixed music blasting so loud that you can't think, let alone talk to anyone, and then getting obliterated on overpriced alcohol and needing the entire next day to recover from the hangover. I can understand how, if that's your only concept of nightlife, then yeah, I wouldn't want it either. That's fun when you're in your 20s and there's still the novelty of chaos and noise and freedom, but that's not what going out has to be. I still enjoy hitting the town, but it's in a different way. I like going to live comedy clubs. I'll hit up the trivia night. Whenever there's a good local band, I'll go and check them out. I'm trying to focus more on things where alcohol and posing for social media isn't the sole reason for being there. Another thing I've noticed is the endless scrolling, and I'm guilty of it as well. It's one thing when you're on the toilet or in the doctor's lounge waiting for your appointment, but it's not normal to just come home from work, eat, scroll on your phone for the entire night, or binge YouTube, and then go to bed. Don't get me wrong, I like my cheap dopamine sometimes too, but too much of it just turns you into this boring, bland husk of a person. Lately I've been trying to collect and read books, and when I do this, I can feel my brain healing from the rot. I'm even reading this from a script which I hand wrote, and just putting pen to paper and writing and practicing my handwriting, there's just something just deeply satisfying about it. I think at the end of the day, for a lot of people, age 30 just kind of hits hard. There's something about that number that triggers our brains with a definite, this is the end of an era feeling. The world doesn't feel quite as wide open as it once did. Childhood friends have moved on with their lives. Certain activities are just, they're viewed differently. You can't really throw on the Vans and go hit the skate park like you used to. I mean, you can. No one's going to stop you. It's your life. But in a way, it just kind of looks pathetic. I really enjoyed bartending in my 20s. I was basically getting paid to party. However, it doesn't quite look the same after 30. People start looking at you like, is this really all you're going to be doing for the rest of your days? I guess it's all about how you look at it. When 30 hits, it's a point in your life of, you've had 3 decades on this planet to try things. It's time to decide who you're going to be for the rest of your life. Not that you stop growing, not that you don't learn, but you're definitely more set in your ways. You have, at this point, should have figured out what kind of person you are, what you like, what you don't like, and more importantly, what kind of personality traits you don't like in people. I'm grateful that I got to be a part of the last generation that saw the world before the whole tech takeover. But I'll admit, I often feel like a time traveler that got dropped in the wrong timeline. And that's just for me. I can't imagine what it's like, for the previous generations and how alien this must feel before me, for them. Anyways, I'm keeping these short. I'm kind of new at this. If you like what I got to say, please do like and subscribe. Check out the channel. I'm new at this. I'm trying to turn it into something, so the subs go a long way. And I appreciate you hanging out. I'll see you on the next one.